So when I talk about fights like these, I like to, and if you watch me, you know this, I like to look at who's going to win this fight and how are they going to win. What is their key to victory? That has been the main focus that I've do with many of these fights, including Notorious Jam, Kurzaro, Jakob. This one especially, though, is interesting. In my opinion, there are three outcomes, two of which Bogati win, one of which Maldonado wins. The Maldonado one is less exciting, but it's effective in his style. Remember, Maldonado's a very technical guy. He does the running away thing, but it works perfectly more than any other fighter. It's interesting because that's how he needs to win this fight. Let's face it, guys. Bogati, he cannot go in the pocket with Bogati. If he does, his night's over, okay? He cannot be a guy who just slangs and bangs. He doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the speed. But what he does have is the ring IQ. He is one of the smartest fighters in the sport. That is a fact. Now, you have this moment where you're getting Bogati coming back. Yes, anything can happen. He could completely change his style up. The second outcome is the same old Bogati we know. A guy who goes into a fight like this, it's massive. Maldonado has a chance to become a second weight class where he becomes undisputed champion. But Bogati does what he does best, and that is just knocking people unconscious. Remember what he did at Fishy, guys? That is very, very crucial. I know new tools and all that, but you're talking about a guy who just took the former greatest heavyweight of all time and put him through a wood chipper. He destroyed him. That's what I know. I'm not that credible of a source, but that's what I've heard. I know he put on a masterclass. Then he goes in against Gavitas and one rounds him. I mean, it was like 2 minutes. It was ridiculous how easy it was for him in there. Now you get into this fight. How are you going to go against a guy like Maldonado who's that technical? He is going to use his counter-striking. Hell, both guys may not even budge the whole fight. It may be a 12-round stalemate. We don't know. But we know Maldonado knows how to beat Bogati. The question is, does Bogati just beat him anyway? Does Bogati change his game style? I think the fight favors Bogati because if Maldonado won't press, he'll just press and he'll beat the shit out of you. So the thing that Maldonado needs to do is to keep away from him. Keep away from him getting in close. If he gets in close, oh boy, it's going to be a rough night. But if Maldonado can swing and bang, I mean, go ahead for it. If it helps you win, it helps you win. I'm just saying, let's talk about reasonable outcomes. I think at that point, I think it's a reasonable outcome that Bogati could just go right at him. However, I'm talking about a fight where I've never... the last time I watched Maldonado fight was RBC 9. It was an incredible moment for him. Amazing moment. He became the interim heavyweight champion. He defeated Rashid Khan. It was a very big deal. Now he gets the title. Then he goes ahead and beats Beast Riley. I didn't see that fight. Now he's fighting for a title. That's great. Okay, now what? He's got to follow it up. I mean, he's had some very difficult tribulations through his career, most of them which have been involving Tams King. Either he wasn't able to show up to RBC 10, he lost to Tams King, or he wasn't able to show up to Tams King. It gets to this moment where you're at the top of the mountain. You had your most down moment of your career against Tams King. You didn't know if you were going to get to the top. Now you're here. Now you get to fight for heavyweight gold. This is it right here. This is your natural weight class, and you're fighting to become the baddest man on the planet. That's what this is about. You gotta pull out every trick in the book you know. And I know Maldonado's gonna do that. I know he wants this fight more than most things. This is a big, big deal. What does Bogati get to gain over this? Another name. Look, let's be real here. Bogati ain't being number one pound for pound no matter what he does Saturday night. It's whoever wins the biggest fight in RBC history. 2 versus 3. The two best of their weight classes in history. And Bogatti's stuck there because he can't move down. Well, at least not currently. I don't think he can move down weight-wise. And, you know, I don't think Bogati can go anywhere. Here's what, and let me talk about Bogati real quick. This is his road to #1 pound for pound. You've got to defend your belt so many times, bro. You got to destroy Maldonado. You have to look at Tams King and say, hey, big boy, come over here. I'm going to knock you out. He has to do that. He has to say, hey, Fishy, come back, get this ass whooping. He does that, too. He needs to clean the heavyweight division. I don't think he should move down because I don't think it's the best path for him. If he cleans heavyweight, which is very unlikely because you got killers in the heavyweight division, there he's #1 pound for pound. Oh yeah, let's add Triple Paul's name to the mix too, because I've heard people saying that he was going to be great. That's not too difficult. Well, no, it's very difficult. It takes a long time. He's going to have to fight frequently. That's a big deal. Now, Maldonado. How do you become #1 pound for pound? Well, you can't. I think statistics-wise, it's not going to work for both guys. It's based on a point system, remember? So I think it's going to be very difficult for both guys to be #1 pound for pound because of what Ozzy and Cruzaro have already been doing. And now you're going to have this super fight. But screw that pound for pound list. I want to do my pound for pound list. I want to say who is objectively the best fighter. Who, not by belt count or win count, who is a better fighter? If I put you in the same weight in that ring, who would win? And it's between a few guys. And in my opinion, based on my criteria, I wouldn't have Bogati #1 pound for pound until he cleans out the heavyweight division. Then we can start talking about GOAT status. And I think Bogati, even though what he did to Fishy, and even though what he did to Gavitas, he's probably the longest way off. We have Jakob, Cruz, Ozzy, and then Bogati. That's not fair to Bogati. But what are you going to do? So this fight means a lot to Bogati. He needs to win this one. This needs to... I don't know if he's getting a rematch if Maldonado does beat him a certain way. I could be completely wrong about everything I've been saying. All I know is this fight's important for both guys. And how Maldonado's going to win, it's going to have to be up by his terms. He's got to make it his fight. And he's got to avoid being inside the pocket. For Bogati, you just got to make this your fight. You cannot let Maldonado run in circles around. You cannot let him go around the ring, jab you, go in for 3 seconds and jump out. You have to smother him. You have to bait him into getting you to counter with your amazing power shots, and you can knock him out. That is exactly what both guys need to do. And my only question for you guys is, what's going to happen? What outcome is actually going to happen? And who's next?